Hi everyone, it's Derek from the I Ready podcast, and this is my reaction to the one each draw with Celtic in the Premiership today. A disappointing performance overall, but I'm really struggling to really be overly bothered about it, to be honest, given the exploits this season, given everything that's happening around the racism issues, the amount of games we've had in terms of Europe and in the league, the fact that the league's over as well. The game was really strange itself, and I don't know if all the factors played into that. It felt more like a training game. I don't know if that was the same perspective Celtic fans got, but certainly from my point of view, that's what I felt. Two changes from the Slavia game: Patterson and Arfield out, Helander and Hadji in. Patterson, I think, had picked up a slight knock, so no point risking him. We've got other games to play in the Scottish Cup as well. We knew it was going to be a tough game regardless, so there's no point risking him if we've got cover. Balogun came in for him, and unfortunately he was kind of, I wouldn't say ran ragged, but he never put in the best of his performances defensively anyway, and Celtic were exploiting that right side all the time. The first half, it was really a poor first half by our standards. That's despite we had a decent first 10-15 minutes, I would have said. Then we dropped our pace. We allowed Celtic to have the ball. We allowed them to come at us. As I said, they were exploiting that right back side, and Balogun being put in as the makeshift right back. It was clear that was the weak area, and they were quite rightly focusing on it. And as somebody who's said in the past that Tavernier is not a great defender, by God, we've missed him, I think, since he's been out injured, because we've really struggled. Teams have focused on that area. Patterson, a youngster, he's done great, but there has been a few slip-ups, not many, mind you, that you can criticise him for. And then when you've not got a recognised right-back in there, then quite rightly they're going to focus on that. Celtic got their goal from that side as well on the 23rd minute, when it was a simple ball on the left hand side, a really well weighted pass to Edouard, who had drifted to the left side of the box, a good cross into the box, and a diving header by Elyounoussi. Helander was right tight on him, so Elyounoussi had no business getting that header in the first place. Just sloppy defending all round. It was a great weighted pass, in fairness to Edouard, but even if he got the crossover, there's no way Helander, being the front man there, should have let Elyounoussi get that header. But there it was. Celtic kept up the pressure. They had a couple of chances, a couple of easy takes for McGregor. Edouard on the 27th minute was booked for a blatant dive in the box. Barisic did lunge in, but he made no contact whatsoever. Initial thought, I was like, oh God, here we go. But fair play to Willie Collum, called it perfectly. And then, almost against the run of play, we drew level. And it was almost written in the stars, with it being the 55th league goal he scored for us. Alfredo Morelos makes it one each. Absolutely delighted for Morelos there. Barisic with the corner on the left, Balogun with the header in the middle, down into the back post, bounced up, and Morelos basically had an empty net to tap the head into it. Brilliant. I'm delighted for him, and he's got that hoodoo off his back now, and hopefully that can put some minds at rest that he can score against them. Shortly after, though, McGregor had a massive save. Celtic were on the right, played down the centre, a 1-2 pass. Helander was really slow off the mark. Edouard gets his shot off. It went under the legs of McGregor, off his arse, which completely taken the sting out of it. And he managed to gather the ball before it went over the line. We had a great chance on the 41st minute, with probably our best chance other than the goal, to be honest. It was really the last proper chance I think we would have had in the game. The long ball up, knocked towards Kent. Kent with a volley in the box and forced a great save from the keeper. And then in the dying minutes of the first half, another massive save from McGregor, where the corner was in from Celtic from the left, a free header in the middle of the box, knocked down towards the right post and shovelled out for another corner by McGregor. Just a great reaction keeper as well. So half time, I don't know if the fact that our late goal can influence the fact that there was no changes into the second half, but we never made any changes. Second half, we really never done much at all. There was a few chances here and there, but it was always a case of we were trying to find the perfect angle. We were always taking one too many touches. We just looked off the boil. It was disappointing to see, but as I said, I'm not going to get too wound up by it, because at the end of the day, we're still unbeaten in the league. Celtic again were, I would say, the better team in the second half, but they never really done much with it. They never put McGregor under a lot of pressure in the second half. We had a few chances just over the bar, but there was nothing really to write home about. Not putting their keeper under pressure a lot. We just looked very lethargic, as if we were wearing lead boots today. As I said, I don't know if that was a case of the exploits in Europe and everything that's kind of compounded into one, and the fact that a lengthy season has taken its toll on us now. But I'm not going to take that away from the players. We've been immense this season. It's, as I said, we're unbeaten still. I would say, as much as Celtic were the better team, they still weren't great. I wouldn't say they were firing at all cylinders, and the fact that we were so poor and they still can't beat us is not a good sign for them. Their best player today was Elyounoussi, I would have said, and he's only on loan to them to the end of the season, so they've got a massive rebuilding. I'm not too worried at this point. It's been a long season. Just enjoy it because we are the champions. That's all I can say. So we've got a 2-week gap now. There's international break, I believe. We don't play until the 3rd of April. That's against Cove Rangers at home in the Scottish Cup. So a couple of week break. Dave and I will be back at some point in that 2 weeks with another podcast. Maybe leave it a week until just see if there's any further fallout with the UEFA investigation that's allegedly happening and see what happens there. As ever, you can check out our stuff at ireadypodcast.wordpress.com and then you can find all the latest podcasts there. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for listening and goodbye.